Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, in the spirit of Valentine, I welcome you all to Love a Ton. My name is Esther Onotu, and I'm a wife, a mother, a teacher, and a fashion designer. I know you all are thinking, Love a Ton, what's a share about? Well, it's about love, as the name implies. Love between teenagers, young adults, and their guardians. Guidance by guidance, I mean parents, teachers, and everyone who stands as their guardian. One of the most or one of the difficult times in our lives growing up, we will agree, is when we were teenagers. We had teenagers and adolescents. There's a whole lot of struggle we have to go through psychologically, physically, emotionally, and these issues or struggles or challenges can be very consuming at times. But teenagers alone are not restricted or limited to these issues. Parents as well have these issues because while these teenagers and young adults are going through all they are going through, parents are also struggling with having to, deal with a whole lot of the challenges that comes with being teenagers and young adults. So on this channel, we will be learning, loving, understanding, and basically learning to grow and handle these issues for both parents and young adults. And if this is something you want to learn about, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button so you can get notifications and whenever I post videos. Please like, share, and subscribe so we can all learn together. And please comment in the comment section so we can all learn, grow, and become better at it. We find a lot of teenagers and young adults and their parents, being so drifted apart. We find them struggling, you know, struggling to keep their relationship afloat. We find uh, parents complaining, they're tired. Being a teacher, I've heard parents that say, ah, you see this child, I've given up on her or him. Whatever he or she wants to do, let them do. Please, I beg, don't even call me if she has any issue or whatever. And you find, young teenagers and young adults and teenagers who as well say, well, my mom, you can't even talk to her like she's the worst. My dad, I've heard one that said, my dad is a very wicked man. But in all sincerity, that's not the case. Truth is, teenage adolescence is hard for the teenager or the young adult going through its stage, and you know, parenting is also hard for the guardians and parents and the teachers that have to, guide these young people. So on this channel, we will all be learning on learning more about these challenges and how we can all be guided in handling these issues. So if this is something that you would want to learn about, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Very important, comment, because you can these comments will help us know topics we need to talk about, know areas where teenagers are struggling, know areas where parents are struggling, and we all can come together and talk about these issues, you know, provide solutions, and make research basically on how to provide solutions to most of these challenges between teenagers and young adults and their guidance. So, yeah, that being said, you're all welcome once again to Lovatan. Today we'll be talking about the emotional changes during adolescence. The emotional changes during adolescence. Now, we know that adolescence is between age, for some people, 11, 12, but basically it's supposed to be from 12 to 18, 19, thereabout. But well, some children, on the other hand, experience puberty at a rather very early stage or early age. Now, that when children experience puberty from 8, yes, I've seen a child who started growing pubic hair at 8. Now, you shouldn't be surprised. There are children that happen to experience puberty at a very early age. It is called precocious puberty. Now, we're going to be talking about the effects of pubertal changes on, behavior, like on their social behavior, their emotional behavior. Now, first is self-consciousness. You would ask, as a parent or a teenager, what is self-consciousness? Self-consciousness is the word itself, being conscious of yourself. Always, conscious of what you look like, how you look like, self-consciousness, basically just being conscious of oneself. Okay, so I'll take myself for example. I remember in secondary school, during my early junior secondary school, normally as a child, if you send me how many o'clock, I'll go out, I'll, do, I grew up with my mom. So once neighbors or whoever asked me to send me on errands, I would just go out and do it and come back as a child. Nothing. Then my mom started noticing around my junior secondary school, when she will send me, or when a neighbor sends me, when they tell me go and do this, go and do that, you will see me, I will run back. My mother will tell them, she won't go wash leg, he won't go wash him face, he won't go, she's just going to ensure, I'm going to do something to ensure that I don't look shabby before going out. Brothers and sisters, I shall know that in my mind, I cannot go out and be looking shabby. So, you know, my mom, of course, my mom didn't even understand that it was um, emotional development in puberty had already set in. She just felt like, "Ah, which new character can be this one where this one won't start." But she didn't really have an issue with it per se. She will only just joke about, they won't say Nana, you go watch leg, you know. But that is self consciousness. Mine might be in that aspect, but for other teenagers and young adults, it could be a whole lot different. Self consciousness basically is ensure just being conscious of yourself, being conscious. Oh, am I looking good? Does my figure look good? Am I dressed properly? Do I smell nice? That's self consciousness. Now, a lot of parents struggle with these things in the sense that a child that is how many years you be, you don't dey check yourself. It's what an African parent would say. You see a child who is 11, is conscious when he's going to school. Then I would even I remember one. Then we used to wear like 3 or 4 socks when we were going to school, because when you're coming back you will trek, and in school you will play. So then we would like, when we've gone to school and we've had our activities for the day, when you want to now go, you now pull one of the socks so that you still look, buckish and neat. It was just all self consciousness. Some of our parents, it wasn't a big deal, but for some, what is wrong with you? This, that, this. What nonsense that I'm sending you? Are going to, if I slap you, But these are not the ways to handle these issues. First off, for the teenager, it is normal. If your child at 14, 13 doesn't check themselves out, auntie, uncle, you should be worried though. because you want to find out, like, it should be a bother, because at that stage the child should be conscious of themselves. They shouldn't, look dirty. You wonder, you 14 years, see how you dirty, see how you dey smell come out. You will even begin to say that, because it's expected that at that age a child should be self-conscious. So in handling these issues as a parent, first off, think of yourself first. When you were at this age, or when you were around this age, is it was it okay for you to always check yourself out? Yes, it is okay. Now, how do we ensure that the child is not overdoing it? Or how do we handle these things? When, for me, my opinion will be, when you see a teenager or a young adult doing these things, I think that's when you call them, you talk to them. Okay, okay, it's fine to, ensure that you don't look shabby. It's fine to ensure that you look in a certain way. It's fine to ensure that you're good at all times. But then again, when it begins to affect um their self image negatively, that's when you come in and you make that child or that adult or that young adult or teenager understand that they are beautiful the way they are, and it is okay to ensure that they are clean or they are looking good. But when they take it to the extreme, to the point where they feel like their body isn't good enough, or their physical structures or physical features are not good enough, you can come in. A relationship between young adults and teenagers, young adults and parents, it is not a time where you can beat or shout or whatever. No, it doesn't work that way, parents. Please. It does not work that way. Shouting and hitting and beating and all whatnot doesn't work for teenagers. You're even going to make it worse. Because by the time, I remember vividly that if you tell me to go and buy something and my leg is looking dirty, black, I will not go. If you like, come and beat me from heaven to earth. Me, I will not go, because let me not go and see my classmate outside that will come and say, hey, you don't know that one. When I pass the house, that girl is very dirty. Oh. And that will, affect your affect you socially amongst your peers. So please, when you begin to see your teen experience or begin to become self-conscious, just understand that they are going through puberty, and how can you help? Before even sending that child out, or before asking the child to do anything that involves the child has to go out the house where they would interact with people, tell them, go and remove that your cloth too. You don't, it doesn't look nice. Or, okay, you look okay, you don't need to worry yourself about it. Be honest about your opinions, parents. Please be honest. These things, raising as parents, raising teenagers, it's difficult when you as a parent wants to be a boss. You're only going to find more detachment of your child from you. Like they will detach themselves even more when you are a boss. Parents should create partnership with their young adults and teenagers. Partnership, very important. Partnership in the sense that you are not their friend. As a guardian and a parent and a teacher, telling yourself that you are their friend is a lie. You can't be their friend. You are meant to be more or less like, you should make yourself a partner with your teenagers, partner with your young adults, in the sense that a partner would correct you or A partner is teamwork. When you're not doing something right, your partner should be able to point out um, those wrong moves, or those wrong decisions, or those ideas that are really not working, or those perceptions that are really not in order. A partner should be able to point these issues out. A partner is someone who listens. So, as a parent, being a boss, it doesn't work on teenagers. It doesn't work on teenagers. Parenting with teenagers and young adults has to do with partnership. When you create partnership, it gives them this safe place to be able to talk to you about certain challenges they go through. And when a child is able to talk to you, your response should be, oh, this is it. So, how do you think I can help? What do you think I should do? Or how do you think we should go about it? Or what should we do about it? Or how can I help you through this? Now, that response or these responses builds um, reasoning and thinking ability in the child, because first off, the child has been able to find, or the teenager has been able to, has been able to, is able to find comfort, and the comfort to be able to talk to you. The teenager is now able to open up to you when you first of all build partnership. Now, these responses would help that teenager or young adult to be able to think about, oh, possible solutions. What should I do? Okay, what can you do to help? Okay, dad, mom, I think we should do this, I think we should do that. At that point, that's partnership. It's teamwork. At that point, both parties begin to work on possible solutions to the challenges that both parties might be going through. Don't ever feel like your teenager will not understand. Truth is, I think, I know they understand, but they only understand when you talk to them or have conversations with them like partners and not bosses. Like for me, one, like myself, I know growing up, when something happens, okay, I'm very close to my mom. So when I say, this is what happened, oh, and my mom response is rather harsh, or maybe she will shout or something, or she will go angry and hit me. At one point, I'll be like, abeg, no need to tell her, because she will probably get angry and shout. Or at one point, if the response is rather harsh, two things are going to happen. I would not talk to her about something like that again, or I would even go and do worse. And shebi is beaten. That's the end. That's where it will end. That's how teenagers think. And shebi she will shout. That's the end. But when you are able to have decisive conversations that would also help them reason out possible solutions. That way, they know that they are coming to somebody who will not be judgmental towards them, but rather will work hand in hand with them to ensure that these situations or these issues are resolved. So, as parents and guardians and teachers inclusive, please let us all create partnership with these teenagers and young adults and not become their bosses. A teacher who makes herself or himself a lord in the class, you will not get the best out of your students. It is certain. If you make yourself a lord in the class, if you make them hate you, or sometimes, you know it works two ways. If the teenagers don't like you, there's nothing you are going to teach. or there's no advice you want to give that works for them. So partnership in the sense that make them understand that, oh, these things that what you're saying right now, it can't work because this is why it cannot work. Why we can't do it like this? Because if you end up doing it like this, it's going to end up being like this, and it's going to affect you negatively. Make them understand these things. Let them, so that they can also be able to reason out possible solutions, or reason out ways of handling their these developmental issues that they have to deal with. As parents, or as teachers, as guardians, use your heart, consider their heart, and think of parenting and guide and teaching as a collaboration rather than a competition. Parenting is not, you find parents and young adults and teenagers always at loggerheads with each other. Like it is always a fight. If you go to most homes, oh my goodness, it's always it's always war. The dad wants you to do this, the child wants his own, the mom is saying go here, the daughter is saying no. It's always a war. But this, it can be more if we as teachers and parents and guardians, we use our hearts. We First of all, let us think about it. Let's go back. When we're this age, if you do something like this, how would you want your own parents to have responded or reacted to a certain situation or to a certain event? How would you want them to have reacted? How would you have preferred? How would you want to be spoken to? Now, if you can go back, think about these things, go back in your own to think about it. If it was me at this age and I did this, how would I have loved or preferred to be responded to, or what kind of reaction would I expect? When we're able to use our hearts and also consider their hearts, we will see parenting as a collaboration rather than a competition. Because truth is, as guardians and as parents and as teachers, these young teenagers are going through a stage of confusion, and they need to be taught how to manage their time, how to manage their money. Yes, it might seem like, which money? I remember while I was growing up, I don't know, I wasn't taught per se, but I was able to develop a culture of saving. It has always been like that. Like, it just so happened that I developed a culture of saving. Then my mom would give me 60 naira to go to school, and then I would use 20 naira, keep the remaining 14 naira intentionally. At the end of the month, I want to be able to do this, I want to be able to buy this and all that. So sometimes, for children that are not able to manage their resources, they also need to be taught how to manage their resources, how to how to manage and care for themselves when they get into new and unfamiliar relationship. Because most definitely, your teenagers and young adults are going to leave you at one point or another. They are either going to go to boarding schools, go to the universities, some at very early stage. So at the end of it, you need to learn how to develop partnership with them, so you can guide. So parents and teachers and teenagers, so we all can, work towards this side. So parents and teachers and teenagers, so we all can, work towards this and learn to guide our young adults and teenagers on how to manage themselves when they get into new and unfamiliar places, and when they are getting into new relationships. Yes. Most of all is, parents, you need to learn to pray for your children. Teachers, learn to pray for your children. Guardians, learn to pray for your words. Prayer, at the end of it, it is the we'll call it, it is the oga patapata of them all. That is just that. It is the most important thing to do. pray for your child. Pray, I am emphasizing pray for your child because it goes a long way to preserve and, guide our children. The Holy Spirit helps to protect these children from certain things. I remember growing up as a child, my mom, there was this prayer she always used to pray. Lord, please do not let my children to be negatively influenced and all. It was a conscious and intentional prayer. And over the years, I found out that these prayers were actually working, because there were some times that I would get into situations that, this one was supposed to stray me. I was supposed to be astray away. But, I just find myself coming back and find myself being, saved some sort. Yes. So I cannot underestimate the effect of prayers. Parents, don't give up on your children. Don't lose hope. Though they are not talking to me now, I've tried my best. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. It's not working. All this one that you are saying, these children are still going to be the same. No. When you have done your part as a caretaker, give the rest to God. Be intentional about praying for your word. Be intentional about praying for your children. It is very important. Now I'm going to switch back to the teenagers and young adults. Oh, your parents are not devils. Your teachers are not wicked. Your guardian is not a monster. Everything they are doing is also to help you become a better version of yourself. Yes, it may look like, oh, my dad is wicked, he doesn't allow me to do this, he doesn't want me to do that, they don't want me to do this, they don't want me to be able to, go out and be my own, they're locking me up in this house, I can't even be independent. Yes, that's true. But your parents as well, teachers and guardians, also have their own peculiar challenges. Now, sometimes it may strike as if they are not responding the way you expect them to respond. That's because they also have theirs to face. It's not easy having to raise a child, take care of bills. Oh, Nigeria especially. It is surviving Nigeria is a miracle. So having to go through all that and then having to come back to unnecessary misbehaviors that, they don't even understand that these are the issues you are going through sometimes. So it's also difficult for them. So teenagers and young adults, it is also very important that you understand your parents. They also go through their own peculiar challenges. Having to being a parent is also difficult, and it's not something that you just learn and you just become good at it. No, it's something that you grow continuously. So please, teenagers, be understanding. I know it's also difficult, you are going through some certain things. When you finish going, when you have your mood swings, your whatever, sometimes come back. I know that most of you understand these issues. Come back, be understanding, relax and think about it. Think about how, what the decisions you are making, what the impact of your decisions on the people around you. Think about how it makes you feel when they feel bad. Think about how how these decisions go ahead to will make or mar you. So when you are also going through these issues, also try as much as you can. Who says you can't be understanding? You can. It's and love in itself is intentional commitment. You have to be intentional about understanding someone. Love is understanding in itself. It is understanding. So you need to be, as teenagers and young adults, be intentional about understanding that your parents also have their own peculiar challenges, and sometimes when they get furious and flare up and you know be when they respond or react in certain ways, they too have their own peculiar issues. So please, we can all you know have it can all be teamwork. It can all be a relationship where there is love, there is understanding, and there is guidance, which is the lover tongue's language. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your time. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell us how to go about, how we can learn more. Tell us some of the issues that you're facing. This channel is for both young adults and parents and everybody generally that wants to learn about um, parenting and how we can all um, that wants to learn about the issues that young adults and teenagers are facing and parenting. So it's basically for everybody. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell us how we can do better with this channel. Thank you and God bless.